I mean, hey, Adam. Oh, shit, Harry. There we go. This is a great team. This is, we love these guys. We're Joe Joyce fans.
We have the managers now. Look, mate, you should have heard that. The stuff he's been saying about you.
I bet. It's been all respectful.
It has been, but of course he thinks that his man is going to knock out your man on Saturday night. What says you, Adam, morally?
Look, I mean, Zhang put in a great performance last time. He's a great fighter, and this is an elite world level fight. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to get a better Joe Joyce than last time. I think we're going to get an incredible fight, but I think we're going to see Joe Joyce's class, and we're going to get a reverse result.
Which would be a stoppage round about the middle rounds for Joe Joyce?
No, I think that we're planning on this fight going long. Mm-hmm. We think it's going to go long. Zhang maybe dropped once in his career, maybe, but he's not easy to drop. I think we're planning on this fight going long.
Well, speaking to Terry, I think that this was something that you'd said about the punch stats in the fight, just beginning to favour Joe Joyce, and perhaps if the eye injury wasn't there, perhaps Joe Joyce would have come on and got the job done. Tell us more about this.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's all what ifs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Someone said if my auntie had a pair of bollocks, she'd be my uncle. It's like
apologies for anyone offended by the language.
It's all what ifs, isn't it? And look, Joe outlands Zhang considerably round by round. He outlands all heavyweights and probably has a higher punch output than most super middleweights, right? But I don't think, if I'm being honest, Joe's punches were really getting to Zhang last time. So Joe was outlanding him 3-4 to 1 in round 5. I think those shots are scoring shots, and I think Joe would have done progressively better on the cards, but he wasn't putting a dent in Zhang. So it's one thing to outland him, but we need him to be putting a dent in Zhang.
Well, look, one of the conversation points around the first fight was the weight. Everyone was kind of like, oh my God, he's so light. But didn't maybe think too much of it at the weigh-in, just that, oh look, you can see his abs, great, Juggernaut's back. Yeah. But after the fight, everyone starts assessing what happened. He came in too light. This is the sort of thing people are saying.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I mean, I think he was too light. I think there are reasons for that. I think he's different now. You get to see him today. He looks different. He is different. It's going to be heavier. It's not a secret. I think, but like all these things, if you increase one thing, you may decrease another. So Joe at 256 was incredibly fit. After those, unfortunately, when the fight got stopped, I think he could have done another 10 rounds that night. His fitness is still of an incredibly elite level for a heavyweight, I believe. So I still think even at 300 pounds, Joe has still got the best engine in the heavyweight division, in my opinion, right? But he's going to be heavier, but it's a game, isn't it, right? Zhang might be a bit lighter, who knows, but it's just a game. But yeah, he's going to be heavier.
This fight won't be boring, that's for sure.
First one wasn't boring at all.
Absolutely not, yeah. That's what we strive for, entertain the fans.
5 months. That's the turnaround time from Zhang Joyce 1, Zhang Joyce 2. Is that long enough to make the adjustments that Joe Joyce needs?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, look, as I said before, these are 2 world-level heavyweights. And it is going to be, we're not just saying it's going to be a tremendous fight on Saturday, but it's a chess match. It's ultimately a chess match, but with limited pieces. Like, each of the guys is incredibly good at certain things. And, we've come in with a Joyce looking like this at this weight, who's done this. They're going to come in with a Zhang at this weight, who's done this. It'll be a great fight, but I think we've got the recipe to do it.
Terry thinks that you guys underestimated Zhilei Zhang the first time. Do you agree?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, whatever anyone says, I can say to the camera, no, we didn't underestimate Zhang, but it's about the boxer himself. And I think Joe has gone on record as saying that. I think he's going to be incredibly focused on the night. Incredibly focused. And, I'm sure after round 1 he didn't underestimate Zhang anymore.
I think that became very clear.
Yeah.
Tell us why, then. I mean, Joe Joyce, obviously, he could have activated the rematch clause, he could have left it, he could have gone another route. How determined was he to activate that rematch clause? What were those conversations like at your end, Adam?
Yeah, look, Joe wants to be a world champion. And obviously the straightest way to get back to being a world champion is to go take back the WBO interim belt, right? There are other ways around it. There were conversations. I heard about Tyson Fury and Zhang and stepping aside and all these things. But Joe wants to become a world champion. He missed out on that gold medal, but he wants to be a world champion. So it was always that. And yeah, look, when you faced your first defeat as a professional against a guy, let's face it, pretty ominous looking guy. It's not like a smaller guy found his way around Joe. It's not the easiest thing in the world to just take the rematch straight away, but it shows you Joe's resolve and how much he wants that world title. Really, I mean, let's face it, for both Zhang and Joyce, this is not an easy night's work. This is not easy. Neither of them is going to be saying, this is an easy night's work. It's a very, very difficult night's work. They're both going to have to go through hell in this fight, and it just shows the level of his resolve.
Well, look, Joe Joyce is very rarely at the top of anyone's shopping list to have as a fight. But you mentioned that actually this is a fight that you guys and Zhilei Zhang has been seeking out. What was it about Joe Joyce that you guys fancied?
It was really the style matchup. It was really kind of just, he's there to be hit. We know he's got a great chin. He's got one of the best chins in boxing, all of boxing. But we have one of the best punchers in boxing. We also favored ourselves with just a southpaw stance. It gives a lot of people problems. We watched a lot of tape, a lot of video, but this is a fight we wanted even before we were with the former promoter, Matchroom. We wanted to make this fight happen. So when the opportunity...
We can't say that on this
stream.
Leave
it out. Leave it out.
Yeah, beep that out. Yeah. Go on.
I hope you're doing well in Orlando. But we wanted this fight, and we the opportunity presented itself. Actually, for the first fight, Joe did not need to take the first fight at all. So the fact that, again, you have two world-class guys, like he said, that want to give the fans the best fight, that are on the cusp of the heavyweight championship of the world, and this is super compelling, and it's just super fun to be involved in this and to see what's going to happen on Saturday night. It's going to be fireworks, I think.
How are you two getting on?
I like this guy.
We text sometimes. We're going to try and meet New York and do that thing in New York, but it never happened.
Well, I mean, we want to bring you guys back. We want to do something. But again, whatever happens with this fight, win, lose, or draw, we back Joe Joyce. Like I said, I hope we don't find ourselves in World War III anytime soon. But if we do, I want Joe Joyce in the foxhole with me. He's got heart, and he's a great guy and a great fighter. So I got nothing bad to say about the guy. We're just going to have a great fight.
Yeah, and likewise, when we took the fight, everyone was like, wow, this guy backs down on nobody. He's fighting Zhang. That's a tough fight.
These are the moments that change the course of people's life.
It was a nightmare for Joe Joyce. He had made sure
Zhang may have his number.
Effect on his mentality.
Joe started to read his own.
To bring the fans great fights. We're in boxing to represent our clients individually and get them the best results, but Joe wants to be world champ, but he wants a legacy and he wants to beat the best put in front of him, and he's shown it time and again. He could have swerved Zhang this way, we could have found another way around. He's not going to swerve anyone.
Do you have any regrets from taking the fight in the first place?
Absolutely not, and I'll tell you why. Because we've learnt so much from the first fight. Incredible learning experience, number one, and number two, it was a good fight that stopped early, but it's going to produce a fight on Saturday which is going to be phenomenal.
It is going to be phenomenal. We are very much looking forward to it. We've got the press conference coming up very shortly. You guys are going to be sat up there. I'm expecting plenty of animosity. Plenty of
lots
beef,
of animosity, yeah.
Going to go back and forth.
No, I mean, it's been great working with these guys and Queensberry as well. So, no, we're excited. We're just really excited.
At the first press conference, I was saying to Terry, it was good fun, right?
Yeah.
He was talking about I bang everything. There was chat, get zanged.
There was a little linguistic thing.
Lost in translation, as we would say. But
it worked.
Listen, he does bang everything.
Well, look, I feel like it might be a bit more serious this time round. I feel like, particularly with Joe Joyce, at the top level, this is what people are saying, his career right now is on the line. And even Zhilei Zhang here, 40 years old, long way back for the loser. Do you think we've got quite a serious presser coming up, Adam?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that is, often people big things up with greater consequences than their pit. This is the end for these guys. But I actually think world level wise, it's not the end for either of these two if they lose, because they'll always get work. But becoming a world champion, very, very, very long way back for the loser. Very long way back.
Well, and the same with yourself, I'm sure, Terry, as well.
I agree completely. And there's so much happening in the heavyweight division. It's kind of like a big game of musical chairs. You got to be at the right place at the right time, but you got to take the fights. Like he said, fighters fight. And that's what both these guys want. We'll see what happens with the heavyweight division, with Usyk, with Fury. But you're going to have to take fights like this to get those opportunities.
And the winner of this fight is the WBO interim, and who knows what will happen with Undisputed. I mean, you want to ask Frank Warren about that, but it's not impossible that the winner of this fight sits there and gets elevated to world champion.
That's right. That's
effectively, we view this as a world title fight.
Well, look, it's a fight worthy of that.
Sure.
Absolutely.
We've seen plenty of interim champions get upgraded in the past as well. So, if that doesn't happen, when do you expect the WBO interim champion to be called for his mandatory shot?
IBF hasn't been called yet. I think that I'm hearing that Ergovic's people are not that happy about that, and they may be pushing on that. I think that should be called, and I think it should happen this year. And then with Undisputed to one side, it should be Q1 2024. But I think we're going to see some Undisputed talk, and I think that's going to put the stuff back.
All right, let me just, while I've got you guys here, you know, you've got the heavyweights, you've got Zhang, you've got Joyce. We had Usyk versus Dubois the other week. I know people have stopped talking about it, but I haven't. I haven't stopped talking about it, right?
Don't make us. Don't make us.
Was it low or was it not? What do you think, Adam?
I don't want to sit on the fence here.
Just turn your mic around just to show what channel you're on. Yeah, go on.
I actually, my gut reaction was not low. That was my instant reaction. Not low.
We'll stop you there then. And
did not look low.
Yeah.
Did not look low to the naked eye. Didn't look low at all. But on reflection, I think it was the right decision. Actually, I think it was low.
What do you think, Terry?
A little bit of a different take here. So I'm not going to die on any hill on either side.
We wouldn't expect you to.
If Usyk was standing like this still, and Dubois hit him in the same place, that's a low blow. But it happened during an exchange. I'm leaning towards it wasn't low. First of all, the referee wasn't warning Dubois about any low blows, even though Usyk was complaining. No official warning was given, much less no point was taken away. So I found it curious about how the referee handled it all. I'm leaning towards it was not low. But you were right on the cusp, and it's so sad to see because the judgment call of one man meant, tens of millions of dollars perhaps for Dubois. So you have to feel for him. But look, I don't feel strongly one way or another. But I'm leaning towards.
I think the net result of that is it's not so bad a decision that it should be overturned. If it's not low, if it's decided to be a legal punch, I don't think Usyk's got a case.
I agree with you there. It's so funny though. I've talked with all my close contacts in boxing. We're split pretty much down the middle, and we've gotten into very heated arguments about this very issue. But it's
check
the
my Twitter exactly the same.
I saw. It's the judgment call of one human being, and the implications were profound. But it's not enough to overturn it by any means. No.
Well, let's bring in a man who certainly thinks that it was a legal shot.
Hey, Frank, how's it going?
Mr. Frank Warren. Frank, please jump in.
The managers.
Yeah, we'll come in.
We're about to get in there.
Yeah, it's getting tasty. Yeah.
No, don't do that. Not unless you get paid, boy.
Mr. Frank Warren is here. Frank, we've just been having a great chat for the last 20 minutes or so. He's back in his man. Adam's back in his man. How are you feeling heading into this one? Big fight.
Look, everything's on the line for these two guys. Everything. You look at their age. You look at what's happening in the heavyweight division. Hopefully there's going to be I hope there's going to be a unification. But the various governing bodies are going to order these mandatory defences. So you've got first the IBF, and then you've got the WBO. This fight is for the WBO Interim Championship. Zhang's the winner at the moment. He's holding that at the moment. So whoever wins it next year is going to get a shot at the title. Whoever loses is going to have a long wait to get himself back in for that fight. So everything, but I mean everything, is on the line. This is going to be a great fight. Both of them, they're not stupid guys. They've been around. They've got impeccable amateur background. Both of them silver medalists in their respective Olympics. Both of them should have been gold medalists. Two bad decisions. Both of them should have been gold medalists. Done everything they should do as pros. And, Zhang against Hrgovic, for me, he won that fight. I'm not having to go up to Hrgovic. He thinks I'm having a pop at him.
Come after you, didn't he?
He did. But I generally think that, I can only say what I see, and that's what I see. He won it. But irrespective of all that, last time out, he came to England, he'd done the deal. He'd done the job in the ring. He'd done the job. This time round, the Brit, our man's got to rectify that. Can he do it? Can he change his style? Can he change at his age what he normally does? This big, tough juggernaut, can he change his style against this southpaw? A cracking fighter. This is going to be something special. I promise you, this is going to be a great fight to watch. A great fight.
Let me ask you one final thing, Frank, before we go up there. 5 months is the turnaround time between the first fight and the second fight. Is that long enough for Joe Joyce to make the adjustments he needs to, from his perspective, to get success in this fight?
I'll let you know Saturday night.
Well, look, and what about the eye?
Look, he's not. Well, look, his eye's healed. We want none of us. His manager's there. He's like a bloody good manager he's got. He wouldn't let him in the ring if he weren't right. That's all okay. It's been medically checked. He's okay to go. Can he change his style? I don't know. He's not a youngster. He's not like they're young guys. But but to his credit, he's a youngster as a pro. He's not got stacks of fight.
6 years, yeah.
He had,
6
you know,
16 fights, yeah.
as you say, like in the car business, he's not got a lot of miles on the clock, has he?
Yes, fair.
He's a young pro as far as fights concerned. So, you know, he knows what he's got to do. He's been in the ring with your guy. He's been in there. He's been in with a good fighter. He knows what he has to do. The question is, can he do it? And you'll find out on Saturday.